Good morning, y'all. My name is Shanna. Welcome to my channel. I'm not a blue ribbon quilter. My focus is on keeping people warm. I want to make a quilt that is warm and sturdy as quickly as possible. If you have followed me for any amount of time at all, you know that I love to work with big blocks to make a decent sized quilt as quickly as I can. Now, Quilt as you go is my favorite way to quilt. And there are as many ways to do that as there are quilters, and there's billions of us. Free motion quilting is the same thing. There are as many ways to do it as there are quilters, and again, there are billions of us. I encourage each and every one of you who are watching to find your niche. Find what works for you. Use what you can and discard the rest. I'm still learning, but at 75 years old, there are a lot of things that you young ones can do that are just out of the realm of possibility for me. Free motion quilting has been liberating for me because the whole idea behind quilting is to get this sandwich together. Whether it's quilt size, fat quarter size, a 12 by 12, a 5 by 5, it doesn't matter. You're simply putting 3 layers together. The pockets created between stitching simply creates a pocket of warm air that traps body heat and keeps the person warm. It can be big, it can be little. I hear, and I watch a lot of videos, y'all. I'm still learning. But I hear so many rules. And as a child of the 60s, I'm a rule breaker, but a lot of these rules make no sense to me. Now, I understand I use flannel exclusively. I don't use the fluffy stuff. My reasons are kind of irrelevant, but I don't use the fluffy stuff. I use flannel. Still cotton, still fluffy, still very warm. Adds a nice weight to the quilt, and it's what I use. There are some rules that say you cannot have more than 2 inches between stitching. And all, you know, there's a whole bunch of stuff out there that basically does not apply to me and what I'm doing. I make quilts for homeless services. I want to get them done quick. I want to get as many down there as I possibly can. The overflow of my product still goes to other places where homeless people gather, and so that's my thing. It's what I do. It might have been a couple of weeks ago I made the comment that free motion quilting was so liberating for me, and by that I simply meant that I don't adhere to a certain pattern. I'm not agile with my shoulders, my arms, my hands. So I make big swirlies. I try to imagine my fat quarter in thirds. So I'll do this side, and then I'll do this side, and then I have to switch it so all of this isn't under the heart, and then I turn it and I do this third. You could draw a pattern, and the one thing I'll tell you is practice, practice, practice. Um, don't be ashamed of your first blocks. Um, don't throw them away. Good grief, it's a block. It's put together. It can be put in a quilt. But it does take practice. One of the things that I'm really not good at is stopping when I should to adjust my hands. Having said that, I still get it done. One thing that I will tell you is that if you linger in one spot too long, you'll shred your thread and it will break. Doesn't matter what kind of thread. You'll shred it and it'll break. So then you gotta stop and rethread and all of that. So that's a pain. But if you stop soon enough, adjust your hands and go again, it helps eliminate that problem. So I'm going to demonstrate what I do and how I do it. I have an inexpensive free motion foot that I got from Amazon. I have 3 of them. When it's kind of like it's a thing with me. When I find something I like, I buy 3 of them. They're inexpensive. They're plastic. There's some metal. There's a metal spring and a metal rod and a little bar that goes over your needle bar that makes it go up and down. Now, here's some other things for me to tell you. With this machine, when I'm not able to drop the feed dogs. So my feed dogs are still engaged. However, when I drop my presser foot, and it's dropped right now, and I will show you, I hope the camera will get it. I'm stuck with using my tablet. But let me show you this. There is still a lot of clearance. Let me do it this way. There's still a lot of clearance under there. So I'm able to free motion quilt with this simply because the foot doesn't put pressure against the fabric, even though the feed dogs are still engaged. Let me try to say that again, where it makes sense. The feed dogs are still engaged, but there's enough clearance when the presser foot is down. Right now it's up. When the presser foot is down, there is enough clearance that you can still move your fabric, your sandwich, around, even though the feed dogs are engaged. On other machines, you have to drop the feed dogs. On other machines, you have a little doohickey up here that adjusts the presser foot pressure. None of that applies to this little machine. I don't have any of those perks, and quite frankly, I'm kind of grateful that I don't, because it's just more fiddling that I don't have to do. So, someone remarked recently that they were just amazed that I was, showing y'all that you can work this little machine with a quilting foot, with a free motion foot, and nobody told me I couldn't, so I did it. Are you with me? Nobody told me I couldn't, so I just did it. So, here we go again. Take what you can use, find your own way, and make the quilt your way. There are fabulous teachers out there, and I follow some of them, and most of them I don't. But I have to do what I can do, and I got to do it pretty quick because there are people in need, and I want to make a lot of quilts, and I want to make them quick. So that's my mission statement. You have to have some knobby gloves. Quilting gloves on Amazon are ridiculous. These came from the Dollar Tree, from the hardware department in the Dollar Tree, and they work great. Especially considering they're $1.25. So, here we go with some rules again. Just break them. It's $1.25. They work great. So I try to start, make sure my thread is pulled back. I try to start over in this corner and just eyeball kind of a serpentine squiggle. Now the other day I took the time to mark diagonal chalk lines or marker lines, and then I squiggled down the lines, and that was fun because I had something, to go by, and they were close enough together that everything was held together. I didn't, one of the things that I love about the free motion foot is it doesn't push the fabric around very much. So that's a benefit too. So get you some cheap gloves, get you a sandwich put together, and if you just want to practice and you've got I'm going to call it disposable. If you've got fabric that's disposable, some old sheet that you've cut up, sheet scraps, just put 3 layers together. Don't worry about trying to make a block per se, but put 3 layers of something together and practice, practice, practice. There's no wrong way to do this unless, like I said, you stay in one spot too long and you break your thread, then that's a pain. So I'm going to try not to break my thread and show y'all what I do. But do what makes you happy and works for you, and you will find your own way. But I will encourage you with free motion, just start. Just get at that machine and do it, because thinking about doing it perfectly like Jane Doe does it, you will never do it. I drew some intricate shapes the other day with some templates that I have, and I got to laughing so hard. Y'all, I sounded like a crazy woman up in here. There was no way. There was. I just squiggled over my designs and kept on going. For me, it's not going to work. All that little bitty stippling and meanders, and I can meander great big. That's what I can do. But don't set unrealistic goals. Just play, and let the play morph into skill. I want to say that again. Let your play morph into skill. You're the only one that needs to be happy with your quilt. So here we go. I've got a pin in all 4 corners, just hold things still, and I just squiggle around them. So we're going to make some noise now. So y'all hang in there. I'm having to use the tablet, so the quality's not real good. I take a couple of stitches to just kind of lock down. I guess I should turn it on. There we go. Just to kind of lock the stitch. Alright, off we go. Now stop. Stop, Shannon. Stop. And I make, I make sharp little doohickeys and... I was in one spot too long. And come across. I try to stop with the needle down. It doesn't always work, so just do the best you can, but keep going. It ain't over till it's over. Stitch length has no bearing. I have my stitch length set on this machine. It's 10 and it's the longest. But you actually control your stitch length with your hands and how fast you move and where you move your fabric. I'm gonna come back around and go over here. I think. And I'll show you what I mean when I said that I'm gonna turn it. And cut my thread. I'm gonna flip it. Okay. Now I've got this under here instead of this great big mess here. So I just do what I did at the very beginning. I set a couple of stitches and then I take off. And did I broke my thread somewhere, or I broke the bobbin. So we're done for now. I'll fix all that later. But see, I've got little thread gobs because I'm not very good yet. But the thing is put together. I can fix that. I can fix my any glitches and mistakes, I can go, I can snip that out and just quilt back over it. But I want y'all to enjoy this. I want you to love what you're doing, and I want you to there's no failure with this. There's no failure. This is an artistic expression. Express yourself. Any quote mistakes, I don't consider those mistakes. They're simply it's a glitch, just like my gobba thread back here. That's not a mistake. It's something that's teaching me something I need to do different. So I just love y'all so much. There's 436 subscribers to this channel, which just blows me away. But for everybody watching, I love you to pieces. I want you to have an enjoyable time with your craft, whatever it is. Let it bring you joy. Give where you can and love always, and always be kind. I love you to pieces. Y'all have a blessed day, and we'll talk to you later.